Gentlemen, howdy once again. Back for another stream doing the Nations Cup today. And I'm looking at OBS right now. And apparently I'm dropping frames. Network related frame drops. That's a great start considering what I dealt with yesterday, but I'll ramble on about that in a second. So, I'm gonna do something real quick. The stream is gonna buffer for several seconds, but it should come back in like 30 seconds. Am I back? Alright, I think I'm back. Alright, I had to fix something real quick. OBS is dropping a lot of frames. We'll see how this does, but instead of just sitting here forever, I'm gonna hop back into practice. So, yeah, this is Spa in the wet in this thing. Basically a Formula Gran Turismo. And no, I'm not driving in chase cam, I'm just showing the car. And, I don't know how I feel about this combo. Seems like a lot of people have been having problems with it. I need to turn down my game volume too so I can actually hear myself. And yeah, I've watched a couple races today. It seems pretty chaotic. It seems like a lot of people have like practiced a ton for this. I practiced for maybe 30 minutes like a few days ago. And so far today I've probably practiced for about an hour, but I mean, I'm kind of getting used to the wet drive. Like, you have to. The reason why I have the driving line on right now is whenever the track is soaking wet, the driving line, or the dry line in this case, actually has less grip. So you want to avoid the line pretty much in that case. Basically, the meme becomes alive. The line is not optimal. Let me drive it my way. But GT7's racing line is kind of weird. It's not like the actual real racing line. But that's the part of the track that has the, it's rubbered out. Is that the right word? Probably not. But, yeah. The dry line in this game is actually more slippy. More slippy, yes. than the parts of the track off the line. So, you actually get more grip if you avoid it. Whenever the track's soaking wet, at least. In these conditions, the line is still the fastest or so. There's not really a difference right now. But I'm probably going to turn it off in the race. Right now, I'm just trying to, like, get familiar with it and like where it actually is and memorize it. That way, whenever it does get soaking wet and I can't tell where it is, then I'll at least have somewhat of an idea. And I'm also probably going to use traction control as well, as you can tell. It's I have gotten a little bit used to it without traction control, but whenever it starts to get really wet, then yeah, it becomes a little too difficult for me. Not really a great start, I don't think. But yeah, so the race is going to be probably hell. I'm going to have to get a very, very solid qualifying lap and then just survive. Survive the drive instead of drive to survive. But qualifying is slightly damp conditions, not dry enough for hards, but dry enough to where I should probably get some practice on that specific setup. Just to see what I can do with this car on inters with them. Just like a semi-damp track. But the thing I really need to practice on, though, is driving with the track soaking wet. Because that's what I have the least experience with. figuring out where the new brake markers are as the conditions worsen. Figure out how much power I can put down and where to put it down. Ideally not on the AstroTurf. And the Nations Cup race isn't starting for another hour and 20 minutes. But considering I am still practicing for this, I might as well stream the practicing portion. Maybe somebody who knows a thing or two would be able to pitch in their knowledge. And apparently a good lap for lap 1 and 2 is a 1:57. I was watching Mr. MCA's guide earlier, and that's what he got for lap 1 and 2. And I'm still 2 seconds off pace, so I don't know where that's where I'm losing that. It's really hard to tell. In a practice session like this, the time split delta becomes quite useless. Is that what this is based on, the 98 Belgian Grand Prix? Oh. I actually have no idea, like, what specific years this Formula car was used in. Of course, it's not, like, 100% accurate to the real ones. It's a Gran Turismo original one, but I know it's the 90s. I just don't know if it's, like, mid-90s or late 90s, but yeah. And by the way, this is a livery I'm using. I kind of wanted to go with the Gran Turismo 3 livery, but the only ones I found were for the F090S, and I wanted to use a 94S for it, or 94H livery for it. The 090 liveries, they look a little too much like just like the default liveries for these cars anyways. I don't know why YouTube hid that comment. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that comment. But yeah, I didn't watch any of the Japanese or Oceania races. I think I was asleep still whenever those went on. But I watched Digit and Calcer earlier. And even when I was watching Digit stream, like, there was a pile of 6 cars just like all super glued together, like several laps into the race, and I was getting nervous even though I wasn't the one driving. So with like the right grid, it can be a super fun race and make for a really good video. But I am in probably the lowest A+ split there is, because I'm just barely into A+ right now. So might even have some A DR drivers in my lobby too, I don't know. But there's no telling. Maybe there might, I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least 1, 2, maybe 3 people in my race that are really good in the wet and they just smoke me. But there's also a possibility that most people in my lobby haven't really practiced this a lot, or they don't know the wet line strat. So who knows? Maybe I could botch the qualifying entirely, end up in the back, and then have to fight my way back up. But ideally, I would like to get a solid qualifying position and really just get a solid result in the very first race. If I don't have to wait around and practice for another hour to do the second slot, then that would be more than ideal. So I think here in about 30 minutes, I am going to... I might open a lobby, actually. I don't know yet. It's like a practice lobby. And change the conditions to, like, be as close to qualifying conditions as possible, and then we could just practice for that. Time to stay off the line now. So yeah, this is where the racing line display comes in handy. Of course, like, you can't, as I was saying, you can't fully avoid it, and I think that is the first time I actually wiped out at El Rouge. This whole time. Like, not even lying. Usually it's, like, fairly easy for me to keep it planted through there. I would have restarted this, but it's raining now, so I wanted to get a little bit more practice here. So let's hope I can actually demonstrate this properly now. You want to stay at least like one car width off of the racing line. And then once you get close to it again, then the car likes to slide around more. Also, I just realized my traction control is still off. I was using 2 earlier. I think that's probably why I spun out at El Rouge, because I remember earlier, as I went through it, the TCS would get lit up. So it was actually doing a little bit of something. And ideally, I shouldn't be on any of the curbs either. Still wheel spinning in 4th. See if I can go over it and back through like this. I think that's actually the best way to take it. Alright, let's try it this time. Alright, well, it did save me, but it also slowed me down a little too much, too. Nope, no first. Why am I going to the first? Now, a good time for a fully wet track like this is 211. I think. It was either that or 209. Probably should have double checked before I started. This is not where I want to be. The line is not optimal. Oh. Even just a little bit of throttle input and the back wheels just give up. But I still feel like I'm kind of going a little too slow through these corners. That's no good either. I only got about 30 more minutes left to practice like this, so better figure it out quick. Alright, make that the second time in this session alone. Also, considering that with the practice sessions, I am the only one on track right now. Whereas in the race, you're going to have 16 people. And the track is supposed to be a little bit, just like a hair drier than this. Maybe not whenever it's like pouring down at least, but it should be a little bit more dry overall and dry out way faster. These wet laps are pretty rough though. Did it again, going down to first for no reason. I honestly felt like I practiced enough before starting this stream. It still wasn't perfect, but I figured I could get the rest of the way there before the race starts. Guess not. Scotland, nice. What's up? It just feels so weird going off the line on purpose. And even then, I still can't do it properly. Alright, well, let's give that another shot. I feel like I brake at the exact same point every single time, but sometimes I overshoot it and sometimes it's perfect. On a lap 1 restart as well. So, same exact road conditions, but just completely different area that I end up. Had it on 2 earlier. Let me try that again. I knew this race was going to be a pain in the ass, but... what fun is there in avoiding the challenges? I've gotten so used to trying to avoid the line that I'm still doing it, even though I should be on it now. Too early. This is not the race to be throttle happy in, that's for sure. Big toe. This isn't even a 58 still. A 57 is a good lap 2 lap. What time's the first slot? In an hour. I could have sworn it was at 6 today. For reference, it's 6 right now. But either my time was just off the whole, like the entire time for nations or for manufacturers, or they actually bumped the time back a little bit. It feels a little bit late though. I'm Central Time, so East Coast is starting at 8, West Coast is starting at 5. And I'm hoping I don't have to go all the way to slot 3, but by the looks of it, I'm still really can't get, like, find the pace in the damp or the wet. But it's kind of my fault for never driving in the rain in the first place, not learning it. I know about the wet line strat. But maybe I'm being a little too throttle patient because I'm worried about being throttle happy so much and just gunning it out of corners like I'm used to. Or doing that. I know I am going to use TCS once it starts to get wet. Oh, I need to turn on 120 hertz too as well. I'm only playing in a measly 60 hertz. I don't like the ghosts in my face. Go away. I need to be on the line here. This corner especially, I am super slow out of it, but it's not like it's a huge deal anyways, because you gotta lift here anyway. Oh, there's my first 158. Signs of improvement. I feel like since qualifying is actually a lot drier, maybe the uninformed people in the lobby aren't going to expect that. And then they will drive a little too slow in the qualifying laps after having practiced this. Still 1 second off where I want to be for lap 2, but I'll take it. Getting real good at that sweeper specifically. Not so much this corner yet. Alright, might be time for TCS now. Ugh. I don't know why that's happening every other time now. Wasn't doing it earlier. Alright, this part of the track is dry enough. Not that dry though. I also noticed the penalties are really forgiving in this one. Which is a nice change of pace considering the past few races we've had online. This might be my last fully soaked practice session before I have to start practicing for quali. Which is probably going to be the most important thing I do. I don't get it. I really don't. Not with this thing. This thing has no turning radius either. I can't just, like, whip it around. I don't really know what to do about that. I don't need that happening in the middle of the race. That's for sure. Or this. Oh, man. Oh, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Having the nerve to do this race of all. I mean, I was gonna do all of them anyway, but this is awful. Like, look at this driving line. It's like practically parked in the middle of the track. It's not even like to the curb. I haven't seen anybody use wets in the race. Everybody's saying that maybe it could be a good strategy in certain scenarios. It's too late for me to practice on wets now. I've been doing inters this whole time. But I don't know. Probably gonna happen again here. Nope, but I had to lift. That's not what I want either. I looked at chat. Of course I did, into a corner. Kingsman, what's up? You are gonna witness my suffering. I feel like I get worse at this the more I practice. That's way too late. Finally decides to give it a Can't speak and drive. Do a right turn at European circuits and suck at it. Stop going in the first. Some spots you really cannot avoid the dry line at all. It's less of an issue once you're at full speed, but if you're accelerating or even braking, it's like a massive difference. And this is just the most painful corner in the entire game in this scenario. Well, in general. Actually, no. Nürburgring 24-hour turn 1 is worse. flat out. Oh, I saved it, but TCS had to work too much. I'm probably going to finish this lap and then head to a different practice session with drier conditions for qualifying. I'll catch up on chat then. Also, I think it goes without saying, but whenever the race starts, I'm probably going to close chat entirely. I still have a TTS on like supers and stuff like that, so I won't be missing any of those, but I really do not want to get distracted in the race. It is not the time for that. As much as that will maybe or may not matter. Get off the line! The line is not optimal. Ah! Alright, well, I didn't account for the braking there. Alright, fuck it, that's it anyway. My favorite music from this game or other Gran Turismo games? I don't even know if I have a favorite music from this game, because this game kind of doesn't really have any original music, and I've literally never heard like the licensed playlist for this game either. Except for like the copyright-free stuff like Daiki Kasho and stuff like that. Recycled from older games, by the way, so yeah, it really doesn't have its own. I'm going to check and see if there's a running lobby first. If there's not, then I'll probably just make one. But I don't feel like typing it all out on this wheel. The reason why I'm on inters is that the track is not going to be that wet from the most of the race. It's going to be soaking for like a couple, but it's not worth pitting for. How's the misery? Oh, the misery. It's already here. And the race hasn't even started yet. We got 40 minutes until the race. But let me try to find a spa. Wherever that may be. This list is just like... It's like, yeah. Wait, really? Huh? Oh, okay, I guess we're not doing the 24-hour layout one. That one has more conditions and times and shit. Let's see. Oh, well, here we go. Padrome has a lobby up. That's convenient. Oh yeah, you're gonna see some pretty badness at this game too. All right, these might be qualifying conditions. I don't have any weird settings on this, do I? I hope not. Alright, I shouldn't need traction control for this. But I gotta make sure my brake balance is fine. However much that matters. Also, I need to turn off the line. If I'm not using it, then it's just gonna distract me. So I hope I have that line memorized, because once the race starts and it gets wet, I'm not turning it back on. Also, with pad room in here, I'm going to have a really solid reference as far as like where I am for my lap time. It's not going to be good. Also, my suggested gear indicator is kind of off now, oddly. Too bad I can't turn it off entirely. Okay, yeah, these conditions are pretty much spot on for qualifying, so... I'm still driving on inters, though. It's not quite dry enough for hards, unfortunately. Not worth the risk. I think it said it resets every few minutes, so the track doesn't get too wet either. Too wet? What was that? Also, probably for the tires. Qualifying as tire wear. Yeah, it seems like this week's Daily Race C has kind of exposed like how many people really don't know even the first step to making a tune. It's kind of telling, because it's like one of the biggest selling points of this game, like especially when like before the game came out, they were like showing off like the tuning and like GT Auto aero mods and stuff like that, and everybody was super excited for it. But then like once the game came out, they tried to utilize tuning in sport mode like right off rip, but people found exploits like instantly with the PB rating system, and then we just never got tuning races again, except like once every 9 months. This time around, they actually did it mostly good. They messed up a couple things. One thing I didn't really take into account was the AE86 has ultimate tuning parts, which you cannot buy until you are collector level 50, and a lot of people still aren't that either. So to compete, you have to be collector level 50. But yeah, because they couldn't do tuning races that often, PD just resorted to doing Group 3, Group 4, BOP almost every single week. And every now and then they will like do something slightly different, like they did the GGTC races with the custom cars, they did the custom tuned road cars, they did Group 1 and 2 every now and then, but usually no variety or tuning at all. But there's ways to avoid the PP exploit glitch, so I don't know. I feel like they could have like really taken advantage of it in like the license tests as well. I think that's actually like something that they should look into for GTA, because in the license tests, I don't know if you can control the assists on your own in them in this game, but you use ABS for I'm pretty sure every single test. And there's no, like, it doesn't teach you how to set up a car, show you, like, the differences in the handling and stuff like that. There needs to be something other than a handbook. Something interactive, something that could, get people on their feet whenever it comes to, like, learning how that works. I think he's just trying to get the right track wetness. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like it's probably good. With controllers, I haven't tried it myself, so I might be talking out of my ass, but if you have like a higher input resistance, whatever the setting is called, where like there's more resistance whenever you pull on the trigger, I think that might help a little bit. Also, the triggers have like vibration in them too. I haven't used that setting in a very long time though, so I don't know how it feels without ABS. But I feel like that would probably like give you feedback onto what the wheels are doing if you're locking up or whatever. Whereas me with my pedals don't have like force feedback type of stuff, nor are they load cell. So I don't feel any feedback through the pedals, but the Fanatec, the force feedback, like through the steering wheel, it'll vibrate. And that kind of indicates like the front wheel's locking up. And with this wheel specifically, it has full force. So it's also like extra vibrations in your cockpit that would tell you like, hey, your tires are big mad right now. But the way my base is mounted to my rig, I don't really feel the effects of full force that much. I need like a more sturdy mount. Yeah, okay, it just dumped. This is the thing I don't like about GT7 weather. The custom weather. Travels at like 1,000 miles an hour. Like an on-off switch. Yeah, the whole, like, trying to appease the casual player base, too, is, like, a huge issue. When it comes to, like, trying to please both sides, like, please the experienced and the casual players. But the way you become experienced is by learning new things. So maybe ABS can be part of, like, the license tests. At least, like, some of the easier ones, like, do a stop, start, stop. Like, one of the... where you just, like, stop in the box, you know, those... I don't even know how to explain it. The iconic Gran Turismo license test. Where you accelerate and stop in the box. Well, do that, or at least one or two of those with no ABS and, like, the International B license. And then after that, just, like, have a couple tests. Like, it doesn't have to be something that's insane. Like, give it a car... or give a car that has a solid amount of grip with good brakes, but doesn't lock up, like, super easily. On a super tricky corner. At least, like, show them, like, the effects of, like, what ABS is supposed to do and what happens whenever you don't have it. That's all you really need to do. And then they can kind of get the hang of it after a certain point. Does that make sense? Now, as far as the tuning setups go, yeah, that should probably be, like, its own separate thing. Maybe, like, its own challenge series, like... or even, like, a driving mission category. They give you a car with parts, and you just have to figure out a tune that's good enough to get the car drivable and get the gold. And it should, like, guide you along the way, like, hey, this is the downforce setting, this is what it does, this is the pros and the negatives about it. This is the suspension, these are what tires you were using, so this is how stiff or loose your suspension should be. And also, like, one thing GT7, like, failed miserably at is not rewarding players for doing all this stuff. So make, like, the tuning challenge, like, mission hall or category or whatever it may be, make it worth people's while. Give them, like, a super cool price car for it, or make that be the way they unlock tuning parts. That's an idea. Some people might have different opinions, but I don't really want everything handed to me on a silver platter like Forza does. This game kind of does it as well, like, early on, but it's mostly just cars nobody cares about. It's a 157.3, but the track is way drier now, so I don't know if that'll even count. It's probably going to reset it right here. Yeah. Yeah, that could be an idea, but in some cases, doing a license test without assists makes it way easier. So I think they should just, like, do it fixed. Wonder if there's any more. He's probably joining someone else, but I have no idea. Death. Is this all a name for it? Hmm. Which one? Which one? Fuck it. I'll just join this one. If they're doing qualifying conditions. I don't know about doing all the tests. Oh, this is torrential rain. Nope, not this. Hmm. I don't really want to mess with, like... Eh. Let's just do this. Bleh. I hate typing on a wheel, so I'm not even going to bother. Oh, my navigation. I hate this funny switch, whatever they call it, on this wheel. Easily my least favorite thing about it. Where is Spa? Francorchamps. Oh, right there. Fuck it. Might be light rain, it might be just rain. I don't know yet. Shouldn't we turn this on, maybe? I'm pretty sure that, like, none of this stuff is important anyways. Screw it. Right. I need to just, keep re-rolling this until... I might have to do light drizzle. This one. Still pouring. Still pouring. I'm probably using the wrong one. Ah. I'm about to just plug my controller back in. This is ridiculous. This one? I guess we could try it, maybe. I don't want it actively raining like this. This is too much. What is this? Oh my god. This is the worst wheel to do menu navigation with. Fuck it. What does it look like? What does the rain look like? Blue? That's... Oh my god. Light drizzle my ass. That is a monsoon. Wow. I'm just wasting time. Is it just gonna... It's on equal conditions, I just realized. cheese and rice. No wonder. I was like, why is it not changing at all? Alright, what about this? Too dry. Too dry. I'm gonna go back to, this. Probably just not a good roll. This is so ass. That rain is not even moving. Ugh. I don't even know what to do. I need it very specific. I need it just like a hair above that bottom bar. It looks like the same exact thing over and over again, too. I guess we'll try this one. This one's gonna be soaked, watch. Perfect! Oh my god, we nailed it. Nailed it. There's more rain moving in, but... I mean, we didn't really nail it, but it's close enough. No, it's not. It's not close enough. God damn it. Oh. Have I tried turning it off, on and off? I have for like the past 10 minutes. I think it's doing the same exact weather patterns again. I have 15 minutes left. It's doing the same exact one. I turned equal conditions off. Maybe that just means like the entire thing is like just a solid color. I don't know. Oh my god, this is irritating. Does that change it? Yeah, it might be preset pattern. Oh my goodness, there's yellow here. And it's way wetter. Alright, well the best I can do is just this one, maybe. Why do I keep doing the green checkmark thing? Let me just enter the course. This isn't exactly wet enough, but it's slightly slick. Best I can do right now. I don't know what tricks Pattern was doing to get it actually change. It is still raining though, so we'll get a little bit more wet as I go. As long as that blue stays away. Long enough. Need a break more there. Imagine I zone out and miss the the entry. I think no matter what happens, though, I am probably going to make a video out of this, whether I just embarrass myself or actually get, like, a solid, extremely boring result. My time will not be wasted today. Alright, now it's about perfect. But we got some heavier stuff rolling in. So this is probably the last accurate lap I'll be able to do. That was a... Ooh, don't speak. Shut up. I just had an idea, but I don't have enough time to try it out. What if I made the race longer and did oh, that's probably it. I need to do custom weather, not preset. But I don't know if that would apply to practice or not. That's the only thing I could think of. As far as, like, how to re-roll it. Now this is kind of exactly what it would be in qualifying now. .156 was a little too dry. But I did do fairly solid up here, if I do say so myself. Oh, I just hit a Mullard. I'm never getting close enough to that curb. Yeah, great. Now my eyes are drying out. 10 minutes to 0 time. Hey, that was wetter, and that was still a 156. You know what? I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and reset this. Do 3 more laps. And that's all I'll have time for. Keep hitting those fucking things. I mean, it's the outlap anyways, but yeah. Turn in earlier. Move. Eight minutes. I'm gonna do one more lap after this and then immediately get out of here. That'll give me 5 minutes of menu navigation. It's still like really hard to tell if it's a good lap or not because I don't exactly know the conditions. They're not consistent from like other sessions. Well, no curb. All right, that's it. Good to go. Let's see what happens. I think I'm driven this long enough for the oil to start wearing out. I'm 1 horsepower down. But it's going to be BOP'd back anyways. Alright. This is it. Let's get our last couple minutes in the moist. Full moist. Half moist. Really awkward gearing going in there. Nope, curb. I want to get close to it, but not touch it. And judging by the time, no more full laps left, so... That's all she blows. Really poor time for the practice sessions. Ideally, I would have liked to get a 157 in lap 1 or 2 of this specific practice setup. All these guys cheated, by the way. They waited for the track to dry out and did it on hards. Just sitting here waiting for the countdown of doom feels more agonizing than actually driving this pile. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time to die. Alright, or... Who am I with? I don't know any of these people. My rear bumper is not your brake. That's a good sign of what's to come. Should probably warm up. Get my, at least my brake balance. Oh, hello. Oh, this is even better. It's partially dried. impossible scenario to replicate in a practice session. No self-advertisements. Did I just see somebody named Quackity? Wrong game, bud. Quackadilly. Oh, great. Oh, okay, apparently. Alright, it won't even let me send a message. Gotta lock in right now anyway. No music. Music is getting paused. I was listening to music this whole time, but I just can't play it on stream. Okay, get me out soon. Actually, do I want to? Screw it. Looks like whoever was in front of me didn't want to go first either. Oh, yeah. Not gonna matter anyways. At least nobody's gonna be in my way. I prefer that. No reading chat during qualifying either. Matter of fact, no speaking at all. Full lock in. Guy behind me is way faster. He didn't give enough space. Either that or I'm too slow. So I gotta make a decision. Okay, I'm gonna lock in this lap. I don't know how. I gotta take what I can get. He might even be in my fucking slipstream now. Alright, well, this lap's gone. And so is this one. I mean, leaderboard-wise, it's okay for now, but I'm still not happy with it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get another one. Fuck's sakes. Of course. Ugh. On the dot, too. Why do they keep fucking that up so often? Like, sure, set a time limit, but set a fucking lap limit, too. Because, like, some people are gonna get an extra lap. Because they don't think. I don't know. We'll see where I end up. This grid is going to be very spread. But then again, I'm probably in like bottom split for A+. Still holding on to P4 so far. On the plus side, I'm not starting in the chicane. Points are kind of cheeks, though. All right. Chat's going off. But music is going on. I feel like the music's actually gonna help. Been a while since I've seen this intro. Let the suffering begin. Oh wait, I forgot. We have another long intro to sit through. I'm just gonna turn my wheel back and forth the whole time. It's the best way to do this. I look like an idiot, don't I? Show me already so I can stop. Alright, there we go. Oh, boy. I really hope I'm not the one to wipe everybody out and ruin everyone's day. That would be something. I need some. Knock on wood. Alright, finally. Turn 1 is going to be a nightmare. Alright, shift the second immediately. Survive, survive. That is so scary. Holy slipstream. I haven't learned how to take that corner yet either. Great start. That guy was faster than me in qualifying anyways. I'm sorry. I'm holding you up. I'm bad at this. Why am I taking the outside? That was not the move. Or maybe. Maybe it was. Stop talking. no curbs. Oh, hello. 2 more people from behind. Don't know where they came from. Damn it. I let him back by. At least he held it. Woo! Rip. I really should have left the line on, actually. I have no clue. And I can't see either. Okay, not my fault this time. Might be a pin. Whoa, track is over here, dude. Alright, somebody didn't research this race. You do not need wets. Alright, well, I have nobody on my ass. Right now, at least. Car in front got a little shaky there. Let's see how many people know the wet line strat. Can't even avoid it here. I don't even know where it is anymore. And the two guys in the lead, they're just gone. They both know what they're doing. Hello, dry? Just dry track in an instant. Line strat might be over now. I hate this race. I still have damage. That is mildly infuriating. By the way, if y'all have just joined, I'm not reading chat until the race is over. I still have it pulled up on my computer screen, but I can't really look across the room and read it. Thank you for the ghost. Sometimes the game just doesn't want to ghost, and then you crash into somebody after you assume they are going to. Got another guy behind me. Great. That's probably a pin. Maybe not. It's about to get bad again. That's for sure, Pen. Yep. Better that than wiping out, I guess. Oh, I didn't even know it was going to get heavier again. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Insult to injury. I'm P10 out of 12, by the way. 4 people have left. This is certainly not a race I'm going to do 2 times. I think I've wasted enough of my life on this. And my DR is probably going to go down too. Something's gonna go down here. 3 wide. Maybe not. Oh boy. Oh boy. Just stay away from that. Ah, well, there you go. Bound to happen. Well, one of them survived. And one guy who was 6 seconds behind has managed to catch all the way up to us after that hold up. Wet line. Get a grip. And it's soaking wet again. The conditions are changing every single lap. Wrong brake board. Wet line, dry line, wet line, dry line. I didn't miss the apex, I'm just taking a wet line. I am not crashing on my final lap through there. Damn, I thought I was getting another position. I thought I was going to get shoved off for a second. This is gonna be bad. I was gonna hit him if I didn't just go wide there. Oh yeah, this is bad. Figures. I was just a hair on the brakes. Too late. All things considered, P4 to P6. Eh. Ugh. There was a P4 in there somewhere, though. Maybe P3 if I didn't wipe out. That's the way she goes. God, OBS dropping frames again. Trash. Alright, well, let's share this. Thanks, Sir Drones, a lot. Thank you for stopping by. I actually gained a DR somehow. Anybody talking shit to me? Who amongst you are talking shit? Honestly, I don't know if I want to give it another go. I mean, P6 isn't terrible. But is it really worth just waiting here for another hour and a half? Going through that again, potentially worse, just for a few more points? I mean, it doesn't even matter in my season, because there's no way I'm qualifying anyways. I just want the credits. But, oh, that's my 100th top 5, apparently. No, wait, that wasn't even a top 5. My previous race was a top 5. Whatever. Anyways, that's going to be all for this stream, I guess. I ain't doing that again, but I am going to do the remaining 5 races, but I don't know if I'm going to stream them. Might just save them for a video instead. So, thank you guys for watching. Regular videos should be coming out pretty soon. And yeah, have a good one.